doing the segment, I am going to do the segment. I can't like let it go by. I didn't want to, but I actually can't let this continue, especially as someone who was pretty connected to the situation before. I actually like cannot let this continue. So I have to say something now. I've been quiet about it for a very long time. But I can't do that anymore. It's just not something I can ethically do. Let me finish this really quick. Let me put these up. Of what? Big dossier. Big someone's been keeping tabs on all of us. And when I say all of us, I mean all of us, including me. I didn't see my name specifically in it when they were scrolling through it, but people that I know and I'm connected with are definitely in this. So where do I even start with this? So I started politics on Twitch a little while ago, around January in 2020, and I talked about politics. I started my YouTube channel in, I believe, May last year, and so we've just been going about my life. I've met a bunch of people since then, and most all of them have been amazing. And there's one person that I knew very early on in my career who helped me meet some other people, and I thought they were really great, and I've known them for a really long time. Since then, there have been lots of problems in the community. But I didn't think, and they've been bad. I mean, we've had Proud Boys around, lots of talk about like things like harassment and some mental health crises. Happens all the time. But this has gotten to the point where I cannot like just kind of sit around and let this happen anymore. I've kind of kept my mouth shut about a lot of the problems that was happening between some of these people. I just kind of can't do that anymore. This has just gone too far. So I'm not sure if any of you guys have seen this yet, but someone made a dossier, basically, or a bunch of folders containing information about everyone, well, just about everyone in the Twitch politics space, which sounds a little insane, but it actually gets worse. So let me just show you this really quickly, okay? So this is part of all of the dossiers that were kept, okay? It's called Clan Ops folders, and there's Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter for the different links. And there's a bunch of people in here. You know, All Relevant, Ico, Anavoir. Do you know them? This is Abuse Steven. Chaos is Mel, ChudLogic, CTV, Danabo, Dances with Awu, Demon Mama, Destiny, Doobie, Aristocracy, Hasan, Kentucky Fried Comrade, Kevin Logan, Kurt. This is someone that we'll be talking about a little bit as well. I don't know them personally, but they're involved in this. Prime K's, Rob Noor, Samantha Banana, Stardust, Vaush. So there's a lot of people in here. All right. Yeah, it's the CIA's document that leaked. Even Dylan. So here's the thing. You don't see like Dylan Burns in here. All right. And you don't see him in there because he has his folder is so large that it's in its own section. So once again, if you like look here, there are a bunch of Discord, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, right? So here are all the sections that were all like categorized from where all of the screenshots and videos have come from. And every single one of these, I've heard, except for Vaush's, was perfectly organized from when they canonically and also by like situation that they're in. So it is strange. I have to tell you, this is like very strange. Let me see. Can I pull up trying to see if I can find the one with like Dylan, because Dylan's folder was like, and almost all of these folders are huge. And when I say huge, I mean like multiple gigs sized. Some of them are just absolutely incredible, massive. Dylan's folder was in a different place because it was like even larger than that. So it had to be kept separately, maybe even on like a different hard drive, as well as like Vaush and Destiny as well, if I remember correctly, and Eris. So what's inside them? Here's like a screenshot of Vaush's. Here's a screenshot of what's inside of Vaush's folder. So they're like video segments, there are screenshots, and they're all kept in like canonical order for the situation at hand. This one is like a screenshots of thumbnails, more screenshots of thumbnails, video segments, stream clips. It's just kind of crazy. And this person is someone that I've known for a really long time. Actually, they're no comment chick, Irene. And there have been a lot of problems between her and the rest of the community for a long time, but I didn't think it got this bad. And hearing her mods like speak out about some of the problems that they were having makes it even worse. So once again, I'm not telling you this so you can go like stalk anyone or harass anyone or tell anyone or like, you know, go around like this. Don't contact her about this. Don't contact her mods about this. Just leave them alone. Just leave them alone. All right. Don't go off on this. There's no point, and it's going to make the situation even worse if you do. So I beg of you, don't do it. This is beyond wild. It is insane. Yeah. What's up? I'm just chilling. This is exactly like Vaush made it. A lot of surveillance went into this. All right. So ever since the big falling out between like her and Dylan, where she like reveled in the fact that he could like lose his job, and even his like suicide attempt and making a death threat about Eris, Aristocracy TV on stream. There've been a lot of problems, and I didn't say anything about it. I stopped associating with the community and everything, but I stopped because there are people in her community that shared my community, especially when we were similar sized. Back when I was at and under 1,000 subs, me and Irene were like basically toe to toe when it comes to viewership, when it comes to subs, when it comes to our pull and our size and our reach. Obviously I'm bigger than that now, but I did a lot with Irene. I mean, the whole reason why I know Merrick right now is because I was on No Comments Bird Brains, like way back, like over a year ago now. So yeah, and the Demon Mama drama. Yeah, even the Demon Mama drama. That's a big reason why she has her folder on that too. Who? Another political streamer. And so apparently how she was able to get these was that she sent out her mods kind of like drones to collect all this information and then like bring it back to the hive, where it would then be like categorized in not only her computer but other people's computer, and they would sync them up and have all the information. Even worse, apparently what some of them would do would be they would like plant themselves and pretend to be like viewers and pretend to be like chummy with the people in the community and people and the streamers themselves to try to get more information and more dirt on them to then collect and farm for screenshots that they would then put in their hidden folder, the hidden dossier, which is insane. That is insane. That's a crazy thing to do. But I don't want to blame the mods too much. A lot of them are minorities, whether they be like sexual, race, or whatever. They're minorities. They're pretty oppressed people, and online, especially in politics, it can be really hard to find communities. This is why it's so dangerous when a community leader, when the head of a community can be toxic, because it sets an example. And then what made it apparently this happened, all right, which was she would like conjure up this like atmosphere of fear and derision, where she became like the paranoid matriarch who would test the loyalty of her mods, right? She made it seem like she was her community was the only community that was going to keep them safe, the only one that like cared about them, and everyone else was out to get them and will betray them one day. But because of this and because of other things that they were up to, she like maintained the strictest form of like secrecy of what was going on, obviously, because this is insane. She didn't want this to get out. This is insane. So she would test their loyalty by inventing fake drama, fake issues, fake crises inside of the community, and then like putting them on someone, lambasting someone, and then like putting their feet to the fire and then seeing how they react. And she wanted them apparently to be like loyal to her and not believe that she was like abusing them or something, right? And she wasn't actually behind it in the entire time. Because if they did say that it was actually like her, what she would do, she would like go off on them. She would like be like incredibly emotionally abusive, demod them, cut them from the community, just insane shit. And so I can imagine if you build a community like that and you make it seem like everyone else is out to get you, it makes a lot of sense to put this together to help protect yourself. It's massive abusive behavior. And this is why I can't like just sit around and not do anything anymore, because apparently the level of like stress and pain that she inflicted on her community, on her mods, was to the point where some of them, through like the stress, were even sent to the hospital for it. The hospital over the stress that this was causing them. And when this got out, she accidentally left her stream on, and she was on call with another person talking about how she was looking to try and pin this on someone else to make it their problem so she could like kind of get away from it, distance herself from it, even though all of her mods were already implicated in all of it. Oh, I'm not implicated. I didn't do anything with this. It's just every single person who's the higher up in my community is involved in it. Weird, right? So there's multiple people who were hurt in this. And so I couldn't like just let this go out anymore, because this is insane. This is like, we've been beyond the pale, like beyond reasonable expectations, but this goes to the level of just kind of like absolute delusion that I can't stand by and be quiet about anymore. Kind of scared for you speaking out about this. I think I should be okay. She's lost a lot of power since a lot of her mods have completely left and everything, and they've done a revolt and they want to speak out now. I think that I'm okay now. This is just insane. And like I said, I don't see myself on here, but just to let you know how in-depth this is not, just to let you know, this isn't most of them, okay? These documents that you see here, this isn't most of them. This isn't even a plurality of them, okay? There are 171 or 174 of these documents. So there's hundreds, almost 200 of them. So I could very easily be in there. Excuse me? Yeah. Think they're going turtle mode? I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. I don't know what's going to happen. I kind of hope that she just stops. This is a level of like paranoia that needs to be, I don't like to like armchair psychology, but this is the level of paranoia that needs to be like seeked by a fucking psychiatrist. All right, you need like mental help if this is shit that you're doing. This is insane. Like I already knew the drama before where it was like problematic and it was a little delusional, but I didn't think it was this bad, to the point where you start collecting information on everyone in the situation where you're going to try and use it against them to try and spin the narrative that you're not the one in the wrong. Is there any sensitive information? That I don't know. That I actually don't know if there is like sensitive information. I don't remember them speaking about there being like specifically sensitive information, like personal email addresses or like addresses for some people. I do know there have been like addresses, real names, things like that have been like thrown around specifically within like the old mod community, but I'm not sure if that's been done here. Yeah, and it's called clan ops. It's called fucking clan ops. I mean, how much more like fucking evil, devious shit can you possibly do to call your massive server documenting every single person and trying to get like dirt on them clan ops? Come on, dude. Come on, man. Cut me some slack. Give me a break. I just realized the gravity of this situation. I mean, it's even heavier than that. So there was some of the old mod team that was together. I want to make sure that I get these names correct. Okay. So this was streamed live a couple of days ago. So there's Zonia and Neo, the two people who we're going to be mostly talking about. And there's Academic Anarchist as well. And I've interacted with Academic Anarchist. Nice person. They've been in chat before. Nice person. But it's going to start off from another section in the stream. They're going to talk about like a couple of things that happened.
Ethical, and it was basically bullying. She started attacking anybody who was even remotely friendly with Dylan.
It literally
anybody who
Burns.
Platformed him, anybody who took a neutral position to him, or especially those who took a friendly position, burned all of her bridges in the community
and everything else. At some point, you just
like she had connections, she had friends.
Yeah, and I mean that is,
and she burned them all.
Like, I do look at some of that stuff in a different
and really went aggressively after aristocracy.
There's stuff that,
right?
Yeah, I'm looking at the tweets now of Eris talking about it. That's
stuff you got
fucked.
into on Twitter,
Jesus
stuff that actually,
Christ,
stuff that actually,
yeah. And then like a week.
Yeah, and she made a death threat on stream about Eris, and then deleted the VOD afterwards. It was not good.
After this whole thing
stuff that actually was kind of like,
came to a head,
might have been a little
I had
bit-
realized
a little bit
that
different
some
behind
of
the
the,
scenes
because I was their
than
mod,
we
and we used to
actually
hang out on
knew
mod
about.
chat for a long time talking
You
about
know,
stuff.
The point is though that like,
And
I think it's just, like,
I would record
it's
myself
stuff
doing
that,
like
when I
Minecraft,
look at some of this stuff, it's not
you know,
as much as,
Minecraft
like,
footage, Minecraft videos
like, I
for
think
the
that there's,
content
like,
for
I
my
don't know
own
if parasocial
YouTube,
is
right?
the right word for it.
And
It's probably
I
not,
realized
but there is
after
a
a
sense
while
of, like,
that
disconnect
some of
sometimes
the
people
recordings I
encounter
had of
with,
my Minecraft stuff had
they kind
portions
they're
of like
dehumanized. They're
of
dehumanized and, like, there's no
mod
thought
chat
given to, like,
audio in them.
kind of
Yeah.
things that are
So
going on in life that might be kind
once
of
I realized
kind
that, I
of shit.
started
And
thinking, okay, well maybe I should
especially, you know,
use
when I look at
this.
the
So I
Among
talked
Us
to
video,
Dylan
I
about it,
see
and I was like,
something that
hey,
was, like,
if I
kind
had
of
the
church, like,
audio
2 months after the
that
fact to
could
kind of, like, provoke a response,
disprove
because you
Irene's
are, like,
narratives
she
about
needs
you
to farm more
and
out of
show
that
that she was
narrative
intentionally
afterwards.
trying to construct narratives to
Yeah,
cancel
and
you,
it's
would you
just, like,
want
I'm
it?
sure,
And
you
he said,
know,
yeah.
Pause the stream in the background. I listen. That's not me. That's not me. And I'm pretty sure this is just the Discord that's going on. So if you remember back when Dylan made that initial video about like Irene, this is how that came about. This is how that came about. Like the audio that they were talking about that was like to be released. All of that, like back in the day, like a while months ago. That's where this came from. And so this has been going on for Under the Surface for, isn't it the better part of a year now? The better part of a year. This has just been like just chugging away under the surface, and it's just wild. Oh yeah, and once again, just to let you know, she didn't even pay these people to do this. She didn't pay any of them.
So yeah, they're going through the clandestine operations or clan ops files.
It was called clandestine operations. Come on, man.
Irene was very LARPy. Only 1/3 of the Vaush folder.
Oh yeah, there it is. Only one, there's in total 174 folders, and this is apparently just 1/3 of the Vaush folder. It's incredible.
Countries, right? And so they feel that they need to have their government and not question it because it's protecting them, and thus they will do the bidding of their government. It's creating this illusion of hostility. So Irene has been going around creating alts and attacking herself to create the illusion of hostility to justify the need to go into these other communities and investigate them and dig up dirt on them.
I forgot about that. Holy shit. I forgot about that. So like back in the day, I remember seeing those. That's insane, man. That shit's insane. I remember seeing that back on the day. There'd be like people who would comment on Irene's like tweets, and they'd be like, you're stinky and you're ugly. That was just her. She made those accounts to attack herself and then screenshot them. She made sock puppets. Yeah, it was all like an internal battle to manipulate her mods into collecting more information about other people to protect the hive. Yeah, she false flagged herself. Me when I want to be oppressed. Yeah. And apparently she didn't only do this to herself, she did it to other people as well who were in the community. Other people as well got attacked by her sock puppets, by her on alt accounts. And then she was like, so when they would like be like, I'm not sure about this, she would like ramp up the harassment that she would be giving to her own mods to make them more compliant. Yeah, right. 5D chess. One day I'll be a big enough streamer to get included in the creepy dossier. Yeah, maybe one day. Yeah, unironically, CIA. See, this is CIA ops, honestly. Weird ass behavior. It is strange. I have to say that. It is unusual.
Yeah, already there for your community to latch on to,
I
right?
don't really think that's much.
If you're just toxic, which is what Irene is, and you really don't have much else going, then you burn all your bridges, and even an insular community can't survive at that point, and you're just going to shed people like crazy.
There's a little bit more in there, but that's what we can talk about right now. Are there other people involved in being blackmailed? Something like I'd be free unless the mods themselves had a vendetta? No. So it was explained there how she would like, and once again, a lot of these people are trans. A lot of these people are like minority groups, whether that be like racial, sexual, gender minorities. They'll be like massive minorities, right? And a lot of them have been through a lot of like really like traumatic experiences, so they rallied around this person thinking that she had their back, and she completely abused that, thinking that, and forced an environment to where they were being attacked from the outside, but it was mostly all just her. And then she would like tell them to go out to collect this information. So imagine, right? You're someone who's like constantly being attacked and derided, and you think it's from these other communities. So you think it's perfectly fine. If you think that they're doing it to you, you can just do it to them. These people haven't thought about Irene, No Comment Chick, or like any of the other like insular like little drama that's been going on. They haven't thought about it, any of it. None of these people have like a vendetta against her or the community. They just don't. There have been like flare-ups where there have been problems, but it's not like that. If you're able to convince others you're being persecuted or a target, you can easily have them help defend you. It's the right thing to do. Yeah. But it got to the point where she was just so insane that they couldn't even keep up. So there was Eris as well, who talked about this earlier today, and I thought this shit was just insane. So I wanted to talk about it as well. And she was able to have 2 of the mods on, if I remember correctly, to talk about it.
It's just like, well, apparently Vaush is huge. I don't know why she hates Vaush so much. It's kind of wild because I thought she was like originally from Vaush's community, but maybe that's when you talk to these.
Yeah, she posted a lot in Vaush and Destiny's Discords a lot. She was a decent part of their communities, and then it just kind of all fell apart. Yeah, they also created fake harassment.
It's like similar. It shouldn't be, but it's like they're like legit traumatized.
Let's see.
No, this was interesting. Because I went to do my movie stream because I haven't streamed in forever, so I spent a good like 3 hours helping Neko Girl set up OBS and everything, and she was incredibly nervous doing this.
I can imagine it's so hard to be the whistleblower on your own community, you know?
When I first talked to her and Academic Anarchist, who goes by Zzer, it was I used to talk to Neko Girl a lot when I was in her community, and then she we did the whole interview, right, me and you, and then apparently I was persona non grata, which is fucking
yeah. So
interesting.
just to be clear to my audience, if they don't know what happened, is when I was going through being harassed by NCC, you messaged me on Twitter and you supported me, and then we became friends. And,
I messaged you every morning.
And then
asking me how you're doing.
Yeah, and you were like super sweet, and I noticed that you had a GoFundMe where you were raising money because you're trans and you were raising money for your transition. So I was like, why don't we just do a fundraising stream and in an interview? And so we interviewed you, and then I interviewed you. I don't know what I'm talking about myself. Pearl. And
Doobie was behind me with the gun.
Oh yeah, and so I interviewed you, and and you got some money for your transition, and it was like a really nice time. And somehow she took issue with that. She took issue. I don't know how another trans woman took issue with you raising money for your transition. Like, she should have just been like, you go, girl. It was, it was wild.
The weird thing is that the first thing that apparently came out was that to her community, the first things that she said was that I was actually like part of the cabal. Like, I was working with you, Dylan, Samantha, and Doobie to like turn all of Twitch into like a Nazi zone. And
why am I always a part of this cabal? Like, why can't it be one of the other 170 people on her list?
I don't know, Habibi, you tell me.
I don't know. You can take some guesses. Anyways, continue.
Anyways, so I became, which is like this is like one of like her like signature traits, right? Is that she'll take somebody who's like POC and then she'll just whitewash the fuck out of them.
Okay.
Like when I became a streamer again and was actually going on panels and doing all the shit that she wished that she could do, because she wanted to be on panels, she wanted to talk to like professors, she wanted to do stuff. Mm-hmm. Instead, she sat around and sucked at a PS1 game and made a 10 video series on you.
Oh yeah, I forgot. She made like 10 videos on Eris, and she made like 20 videos on Dylan. Just insane. Yeah, like we're all trying to turn this into like a Nazi space. We're all trying to bring in Nazis to fuck over trans people, I guess, specifically. Person's Professor Flowers adjacent. She interviewed Professor Flowers. I don't know what the interview entailed. I didn't watch it, so I can't tell you like if it was like positive or what.
A career move that you can make.
Wait, she did a 10 video series on me?
Yeah, it's called Sitting the VTuber Castle, where you entirely...
I didn't realize it was 10 videos. Holy shit.
It's like it's entire misinterpretation.
Sitting the VTuber Castle?
Yeah, imagine
she really hated me being a VTuber. Like, she kept saying that when she gave me the death threats on stream, she kept saying that she wanted to come destroy my VTube equipment. I was like, please, not the VTube equipment.
You want to see something fucked up too? Because you know how she has a very particular way that she talks, right?
Yeah.
So, in talking to Neko Girl, she let me know that, she has this weird obsession because, she's a fucking weeb. I'm a weeb too. Like, that, like, I'm not doxing myself. I always make it clear that I live in Singapore. Mm-hmm. Like, Taze knows, Samantha knows. I talk about it all the time with Connor. It's based. And, like, the thing is that, like, when all of this stuff first came up, when Neko Girl first talked to me, she was like, in the back of my mind, I knew that there wasn't, like, that, like, this wasn't the person that I was talking to, because me and her used to talk to a lot. Mm-hmm. But she was, like, so conditioned to think that I was, like, this enemy that, like, wasn't out doing things.
By it.
Yeah, and, like, I was playing games and talking with Tom stream, and she was doing, like, a big-ass cancellation stream of me, and then Neko messaged me, and she said, Irene was right about you.
So I'm sure you felt so betrayed by Neko Girl in that moment. That probably was super shitty. I only had a negative impression of Neko Girl because I never knew her before Irene, right? Just to my audience, Irene is NCC, so if you're confused about it, that's her name. And
so when people start to speak out, when parts of the community and mod community start to speak out against her and her actions, she would then like basically excommunicate them and then make like canceling streams where she would like come up with all of these issues, right? and try to, and then go on stream and then like cancel them. Let me see, where's I know this is one of her mods right here, one of her old mods at the very least. This one, Neo. This is the person that we're talking. Oh, this is the person who's speaking right now. Neo, the one that we're listening to talk from like Irene's community. This is them right here in the document. So yeah.
Yeah, she in fact talks about everybody's names. She
Yeah, she talked about your name, which your name is private, right? And that
my name's on my GoFundMe, so
okay.
it's like semi-public. But she always she'll when talking about Demon Mama, she'll be like, "Come on, Emily," and it's like, okay, like A, that's cringe, and like B, like there's VODs of this person telling you to fuck off and leave them alone, and you're gonna sit there and act like you're just like doing like you just had fucking brunch with them.
Yeah, that's actually that's really what I remember.
Yeah, that's true. When I meet Vaush, I'm going to call him Ian, okay? And there's nothing that he can do about it. Yeah, fit. Yeah, now it's Fit Ian, no longer Fat Ian. It's Fit Ian. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'll call him Irish Laddie. Now that's dead naming.
I used to have this weird parasocial thing with Demon Mama, and like Demon Mama was really creeped out.
Danabo, if you're watching this, I want 1,000 people to know that you tried to claim that it was you, and then said that it actually wasn't, and that you just wanted people to leave Irene a fucking alone.
Okay, that reminds me.
Fucking Chris Crocker style motherfucker.
Okay, that reminds me of something with Danabo. Danabo often works for, if you guys don't know who Danabo is, he's one of the kind of behind the scenes people, and he defended Irene like a lot, NCC a lot. And I remember I was particularly upset when he defended her after she gave me death threats, and I really was like, dude, come on, right? But she has a folder on him too. Like we saw it on the list. How did he know about this? Like that's kind of like a huge betrayal.
He was in her stream last night, which by the way, she needs to learn how to like properly use OBS.
Nobody was safe. Danaboo had his own folder. Yeah, right here. Danaboo had his own folder. You defend her and you have your own folder. There's nothing that you can do about it. You can't escape it. Okay, you get close to her and you get a folder. I probably have a folder in here, which is crazy. What's in the folders? Some manipulated some manipulated screenshots, video clips, segments that they can use as blackmail or to cancel. Dirt, basically. It was them collecting a bunch of dirt on people to try to if it ever came to like them disrespecting or like going against Irene, she would then make a stream and then use all of this information against them. Just my feet pics? No, anything but that. I don't show them on stream very often. That'd freak me out if she had one.
Now, like, I'm sorry, Irene, but you can't like blame it on Drakewing because whoever you called on your phone last night after you rated out, sometimes she forgets to turn off her OBS, so it'll be streaming.
She does very silly things. Like I remember when she did the death threats live on stream. My first impression was not, oh my god, I'm getting death threats. My first impression was like, why did she say this live on stream? Like, yeah. And it still shocks me that she got away with it.
You know what? She's like, you know what? We'll just burn. And then she named an X mod, and then she said that's what we could do. We could burn them. We could say that they're the ones that made the folder. That they're the ones that did all of this stuff.
No one would believe that.
And then she was like, because like my name's not attached to it or anything. Like right now, like there's no analysis. And then she also
except it just happens to be all the mods in her community that are making this.
Yeah,
like it's attached to it no matter what.
And then she was like, Samantha was in here and was asking me about something because I don't know why, but she has a weird obsession with Samantha.
I've noticed that. It's kind of strange.
It's really fucking.
So yeah, wild, crazy, kind of insane, type behavior. This is not something that I was expecting to come out of this. It just makes me sad. Who's Samantha? Samantha Banana, someone who's in the Twitch politics space.
About it being like veterans. When I was talking to Academic, when I was talking to Neko Girl, when I was talking
parts of Irene's mod community,
Gina, a bunch of other people. There's other mods that are so traumatized by it that they don't even want their Twitch account names to be mentioned because they've just left this entire platform. But there's a few of the bigger name mods that people would probably know if they were following like the drama saga of, like from like last year. I guess everything's a rerun. We already brought back the ChudLogic stuff, so why not this as well? However, they all left, and it is exactly like that. They essentially have PTSD. Neko Girl, even as far back as like last Monday, was like, and this was like after like 4 or 5 hour conversations and like me sharing all of the DMs that I'd ever sent Irene and everything else, just to be like, look, this is like what's going on. And like I was going through like showing her all of my old VODs and like showing like the 2 times me and Demon Mama talked and everything else. It's like, so like Irene's painting this picture of like me being some German transmed person who's bot rating
and
your
if you're
account.
an asshole, like if you're like in Irene's
and there was another person as well who was who the stress and everything sent them to the hospital for from all of this. So at the end of the day, I don't want anything to do with NCC anymore. Okay, I want to come out with this because this has just gotten so wild and so out of hand. This moves from like personal beefs that you have with people to like this qualifies as maybe even like mass stalking, manipulation of people to a degree that I didn't even know someone had the time or energy to do on this platform. I couldn't imagine it. I couldn't imagine doing something like this. I don't know what's happening. It's pretty bad behavior. It's worse than bad behavior. It's like bordering on illegal behavior. The type of stalking and harassment that she gets up to. It's just so sad because when I started this, like Irene was like one of the only people that I knew in this community before I met Sand. Like I knew Irene and then I met Sand, and me and Sand still talk all the time. And those were the two people that I knew originally, and Irene's just gone insane ever since all this drama and we've stopped talking and everything. I have to ask if, for example, Vaush or Eris were to do something that would require NCC to use this info, what would happen? Here, let me see. Let me see if I can pull this up for you. This would happen, all right? And here are all the videos. Tomfoolery interviews base cat girl on Dylan Burns drama. Dylan Burns face plants and WrestleBrania. NCC bad? Cancel. Dylan Burns drama. Dylan Burns invades my chat. Spicy debate. Dylan Burns. A wicked witch of the of left Twitch caught spying for Dylan Burns. Dylan Burns is starting more drama. Dylan Burns DM Mama Vadim debate analysis. There's a little bit of drama in here too. Dylan Burns college Republican cringe fest. So it's just responding to Dylan Burns accusations of ableism. So this is the stuff that would happen. This is the stuff that would happen. If that happened, just like all of these videos, okay? All of these videos and more would be dropped. D Mama versus Vaush, Dylan Burns, Chud friends, you know, the exiting the VTuber castle. Yeah, and this one, and these like 4 hours videos on Eris, just insane shit. That's what would happen. That's what happened. There's like 5 hours of video about shit like that or more. Maybe even like it's coming up on like 10 or 12 hours. It's just, that's what would happen. And she would be like doing everything to like spin the narrative. And I just don't want anything to do with it anymore. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want to see it. I don't want it around me. It's over. Stop. She needs help. Okay.